Hey folks, Mike McGee here. In today's video, we're going to make a carnivore cheesecake. Now, I told you in a previous video, we're here roofing the Merritt's house. It's beautiful. It's looking good. We're not necessarily making a video of roofing it. I might make a video sometime when we get to a point that's, you know, technical or something. We roof all the time, so that's not really our favorite thing. That guy right there, he likes to roof and he likes to do schoolwork. But you probably hear the boys on top of the roof screwing down the 2x4s right now, making the new roof. But we are going to be here making this carnivore cheesecake. In order for me to make videos for you to watch, I'm going to have to do quite a few of them here at the Merritt's because I'm here working, although right now I'm not. But let's just say I've been on the roof today more than I wanted to be. So carnivore cheesecake coming right up. What's our ingredients?
Cream cheese, sour cream, honey, vanilla, and salt.
All right, let's get it and put it together. You might be wondering, why, McGee, does it need to be a carnivore cheesecake? Why can't you just make a regular cheesecake? Well, some people can't tolerate physically eating that stuff, so you have to, their body handles things from animals. Now you're gonna say, you know, vanilla's not from animals, the honey is technically not from animals, but some people consider it carnivore because it's from a bee. A bee is like an animal. But anyway, there's a lot of physical problems that people have. I was having problems. I don't know if my problem was from cheesecake because I didn't get that much of it, but just flour, grain products, sugar products, anything like that. Mostly my problem was carbohydrates. That was just by far my issue. I'm assuming that a regular cheesecake would have carbs in it, but I know it would have regular sugar.
Yeah, it would have sugar and a graham cracker crust.
Yes. So those things have to go out if you're a strict carnivore. Miss Merritt had some physical issues. She had some rashes going on, parathyroid, did I say that right? Parathyroid issues and just stuff in general that was causing her problems that have cleared up, by the way. So we're happy to feel good. And in a way, sometimes carnivore is almost politically incorrect. I don't know why, but somehow politicians have decided eating beef shouldn't be done.
In 2021, Bill Gates said all rich countries should move to 100% synthetic beef. Lots of consumers are apparently averse to their chicken having a steel vat for a mother, but not to worry, the USDA gave the industry $10 million of your money to address consumer acceptance.
We eat beef, and we do well on it.
Yes, we do.
But carnivore cheesecake is a way, if you're on carnivore, that you can eat something besides beef as a treat. And it's pretty good. You ready to mix?
I am.
All right, I'll quit talking.
So, the pound of cream cheese that goes in here is your healthy fat.
1 pound.
Yes, 1 pound.
Cream cheese.
2 8-ounce boxes, if you're using boxes.
And that's healthy fat.
Yes.
People said, I didn't know fat was healthy. I thought we were supposed to eat low fat.
No, that's your energy when you're on carnivore.
No sugar, no carbs. You got to have something to give your body energy. And if your body is running off of fat, you will use the fat.
Won't eating fat make me fat? No, that's not how human physiology works. Eating sugar, which is turned into triglycerides and fatty acids, which are then stored as fat, that's how you get fat.
Lost 25 pounds, something like that. So
I didn't lose any weight,
she
but
didn't need
I lost a rash for which I'm eternally grateful.
to. Yes.
Lived with that for a year, and it gets old.
Oh yeah. If you can eat carnivore cheesecake and beef, butter, bacon, and lose problems, I say go for it.
Oh yeah. The kids keep asking me when I'll quit carnivore and go back to eating normal.
Yeah, whenever you want your rash to come back, I guess.
No, once they find a way that I can transfer the rash to them.
Okay, yeah.
But
I felt really good, but as soon as I went back to eating normal foods, all of my symptoms came back and so did the weight. So here's the thing. if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. So if you go back to doing the same things you were doing before, of course all the normal stuff is going to come back.
So sour cream is also a good fat.
Yes, it is. It's made from milk, just cultured milk.
Yep.
And
The culture actually good for your stomach.
okay, let's see here.
If it's got like probiotic type culture in it,
Cultured cream.
yeah, it's good for you.
Yeah. And I don't measure, I just put some in.
There you go.
Then you start mixing it.
When I'm over here and working and stuff and I hear that turn on, I don't even have to look. I know she's making another one. I don't know how many of them have been eaten over here, but quite a few.
They're quite addicting.
Oh boy, are they ever good. If you don't like cream cheese at all, you may not like this dish, but if you're a cream cheese person, you need to try this whether you're carnivore or not. This is Warthog Gold Sea Salt. It's got all 92 minerals in it that the body needs. You don't even need electrolytes if you take enough of this salt. It's just unreal good for you.
Okay. Next up will be the honey. It doesn't matter if your honey's crystallized or not.
Doesn't matter.
You can't tell
Yep.
once it's mixed in. And I don't measure that either. I just go by taste.
Yep.
These things are nice too to have because we can have cheese as a cool treat,
Cheese is a carnivore.
but cheese isn't very light
No.
sometimes.
It's heavy. It's
Yeah.
rich also. And
Yeah.
so you can't eat all that much cheese before you're like blah. And you're already eating a high fat diet anyway. It's kind of hard to find light things to eat that are healthy. So this is one of them, and you might not think it's light. If you're a Twinkie man, Twinkie lady, and you eat a lot of Snickers or whatever, you might not think this is light at all, but for us it is. And I mean, for a lot of people it'll be great. I know I'm going to get people trying this and they're going to love it.
Absolutely. It's hard not to like it. Especially once you've been on carnivore for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Your taste buds and what you want kind of changes.
Yeah. And I've got keto people watching right now. Keto, you ought to try this. If you're on ketovore.
And then the vanilla, I don't measure that either. I just go according to
Perfect.
taste, but pour some in, maybe a teaspoon or two.
Not measuring goes well on this channel.
I'm a good enough type of person, not an exact. Alright, time to taste and see what we need to add.
That's my favorite part.
Yes.
You nailed the honey, perfect.
But I think it needs salt.
It could use a little more salt. That I agree with.
Beyond that, I don't know.
It's perfect, other than that. And not even, terrible lot of salt. That's one thing, carnivores have to have a lot of salt, more than somebody that's getting a ton of carbohydrates and vegetables and things like that in your diet. If you're on carnivore, you've got to have the salt, you've got to have the fat. The protein is what everybody focuses on. You got to have protein, obviously, but beginners, they screw up by not eating enough fat and not eating enough salt. They get headaches and they can't use the bathroom and they can't figure out why, and they say throw carnivore out. That's awful.
And then the USDA said that cholesterol and saturated fat cause heart disease, stop eating them. So we really got rid of fat. We got rid of red meat and eggs because those were the worst, right? Because they had the most saturated fat and cholesterol. We significantly reduced those by over a third since the 1970s, increased high fructose corn syrup by over 3 times, increased seed oils by over 3 times, increased fruits and vegetables by 30-40% respectively, increased grains and all that sort of stuff as well. And what happened? The obesity rate tripled, heart disease tripled, stroke rate tripled, cancer rates tripled, type 2 diabetes, autoimmune disorders, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, developmental delays such as autism all increased exponentially. They almost didn't exist before the 1980s.
You need to eat butter,
Yep.
bacon,
Oh yeah.
the stuff that they've told you for years is bad for you. That's what you need to eat if you want to be healthy on carnivore.
Yeah, and preferably as fresh as possible.
Fresh.
On all of that.
Yep.
As close to organic as possible.
Yep.
Or straight from the source.
Oh, if you live like we do and you can get it from your own cow, that'd be good. Obviously, this cream cheese didn't come from our own cow, but you can, if you're a diehard and you want to be, you know, overboard everything off your farm, you can do that. Being overboard has its perks, but it also has its drawbacks, and it's easy to just go buy some.
Yeah, it's real easy to do that, especially when we go through the amount of cream cheese and stuff we do.
Yeah.
Alright.
You hear them boys up there working, screwing on that roof. That's what we do so that we don't have to make everything ourselves. We can afford to buy something.
Yes.
And if you are putting a roof on a house this steep, you're gonna want to eat something. You're gonna build up an appetite.
And building up an appetite, nothing fills you up like
Oh.
carnivore foods do.
I can't believe how little amount I ate for lunch. She did a pork back, smoked or roasted.
It was smoked and finished in the oven.
I thought it tasted like it was smoked.
It had about 6 or 8 hours of smoke on it.
I had a big old thick slab of that, but it wasn't huge. Filled me right up. All right, so now we're putting it in a pan. Is it important to chill it afterwards, or can you just go right to town?
Oh, I can't tell you how many times I have gone right to town.
Go right
on
to
it.
town on it.
It makes so quick, and there's no eggs in it, so you don't have to
Oh,
worry
yeah.
about baking
That's
it.
right.
Which is part of what I like. A normal cheesecake, you would put eggs in and therefore need to bake it.
I'm assuming you could put eggs. Eggs are carnivore, and that's something we eat a lot of. So if you wanted to bake it, you could put some eggs in it. That might be fun to try sometime, just see what kind of consistency you got. Have you tried it?
I tried making it with eggs, and I noticed it was a lot more liquidy.
Liquidy?
Yeah.
Even after baking it?
I think so.
Okay.
It took a lot longer to bake it, and I like this version a lot better. But that's not to say we couldn't engineer our own version
We
with
could.
eggs that is baked.
Well, that's the thing that's fun about it, is coming up with your own little recipes. There's no law, you know. You ain't gonna get thrown in jail if you put an extra egg and a little bit more honey, you know.
If you run into some diehard carnivores,
Oh, they would almost want to put you in jail. If you ever get on a Facebook carnivore group, they will throw you in jail for everything. If you don't just eat strict beef, strict bacon, butter, and it's got to be on a wooden cutting board.
Yes, it
And
does.
then you might pass.
A dark wooden cutting board.
Yes. There might need to be a pistol laying beside it.
Yep.
That's points in your favor if you're on the Facebook groups.
I mean, it's a nice sight, but I don't eat every meal with a
Cutting board.
cutting board and a pistol.
No. At this point, what do we lack in this video? The taste test? That's all we lack?
The taste test.
So you see how easy it was to make. Very easy. Try it and see if you like it. Obviously, if you don't like cream cheese, don't try it. But if you do, you might want to try it.
Oh, go ahead.
If you want it to be terribly very thick, you could put it in the freezer and try to get it thick if you want to have these perfect slices. But when you're hungry, you don't think about that on that terminology, that it has to be so pretty.
No.
Thank you.
This is more like a whipped cream look than a cheesecake
Yes.
look.
It's almost more, you could almost call it carnivore whipped topping. I mean,
Yeah.
you could do that. We may not, but you could.
I had some where somebody made it and mixed in a whipped cream,
Really?
and it kept the whipped cream texture, made it real light.
Hmm.
It was the one that was brought to the Christmas party.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I tried making it that way, but I'm not a gentle enough to keep that texture in there.
That's about like me with my carnivore ice cream. I whipped those eggs up and then I just scrambled them into it, and it was no different if I had not whipped it. But oh well. All right, let's try this out and see how it tastes. I know how it tastes because I've eaten it a lot. Every batch is slightly different, which I like that, because if it's the same all the time and you eat it a lot, you get burnt out. So by having variations, it really breaks it up, makes it delicious.
You need adventure in life.
I like more adventure than falling off a roof. I mean,
I mean, where's the excitement if every dish turns out tasting the same every time?
exactly. Well, if you're going to be eating a carnivore diet, you're more limited. So if you're limited to one carnivore cheesecake type thing, if you can make it and it tastes different ways, then it's like you're being less limited, I guess.
Yeah, you feel like you have more options.
Well, I've never really felt extremely limited. Matter of fact, I got to feeling so good after I got in carnivore. I actually felt less limited, because instead of when I would see what the other people were eating, you know, the cake or the bread or whatever, instead of thinking about what I was missing by not eating that, I got to thinking about what I was missing if I did eat that. Missing out on feeling good, and the blood sugar spikes, the insulin jumping around, the issues of after you eat, you want to lay down and take a nap. Sometimes you still want to lay down and take a nap if you're tired, but it's nothing at all like it used to be. Like you just couldn't, you get so sluggish you couldn't go on. It's not like that at all.
I don't miss that sluggish, bloated
No, the
feeling
bloat,
of misery.
the bloat, it doesn't take very many potatoes at all for me to get bloated. And I started noticing that before I got on carnivore. And I was like, why on earth? They always preached, you know, balanced diet and not just eat meat. But I noticed when I did, I felt better. So I couldn't figure out why it was supposed to be worse for you if I was eating it and feeling better. So once I discovered the carnivore diet and the people talking about the benefits of it, it all clicked and made sense to me. It's like it agreed with what I already was feeling in my stomach and in my body. So I couldn't help but believe it, because it was all making sense.
And when you try something, if it starts working and you start seeing the results that you're supposed to see and expect to see, there's even more motivation there.
Oh, yeah.
Especially once my rash started going,
Oh yeah.
there wasn't no turning back.
No.
When you feel good, there's just not a price to put on health.
Nope, you can't. There's people that would give every dime there's multi-millionaires give every dime they've got for health right now. Promise you.
Not just carnivore, you have to make you find out that there's other certain trade-offs that you can make in life. And while we're told to eat a balanced diet, we're also told that sunlight exposure is bad for us.
Yep, skin cancer.
Skin cancer, wear your sunscreen. Well, it was by accident that I discovered that sunlight actually helped clear up my rash. And the whole reason for that was my parathyroid. You have 4 parathyroid glands on your thyroid. It's quite common for some people to grow a non-cancerous tumor on one, which causes it to be overactive. And they regulate several things in the body, but one of them is calcium in the blood. And if it's overactive, it pulls extra calcium out of your bones into your blood. And one of the not so common side effects is a skin rash and eczema. And what helps you absorb calcium is vitamin D. Sunlight has vitamin D. Sunlight is healing and it's healthy. I didn't wear sunscreen before, but now I'm for sure not.
Yeah. And do you know what it takes for your body to produce the vitamin D3? I believe it's D3.
It is D3.
So it's the only vitamin your body creates on its own with the help of 2 ingredients, sunlight and cholesterol. If you don't eat cholesterol, if you don't have cholesterol, if you're on statin drugs, you can get skin cancer more readily. But if you have the cholesterol in your system, that is what the sunlight bonds with to create the vitamin D3.
The human body does not make vitamins. We get it from diet or supplementation, with one exception. We make vitamin D3. We take cholesterol and sunlight and we make a vitamin. God thought that D3 was so important to the human body that he didn't leave it to chance. We actually have our own factory inside of our own body. There is not a single cell in our entire body that does not have a receptor site for that vitamin. The truth is, most of us are not getting enough sun. It's not that we get too much sun, it's that we're not actually getting enough. And therefore, we become deficient in vitamin D3. And when we become deficient in vitamin D3, one of the first things to go is deep restful sleep. One of the second things to go is our waking energy. When you're clinically deficient in vitamin D3, you wake up sore and achy. Your joints hurt a little bit. Your muscles are a little sore. In the morning, you just don't get going for about 35 or 40 minutes. 80% of the nation's population is deficient in vitamin D3.
And also, there's something else that takes the calcium out of your blood, and that is vitamin K2. And that is in butter. And that's why butter is so important, because it puts the calcium back in your bones when you have vitamin K2.
Okay, so that's why butter is on the lion diet.
Exactly.
That's the really strict carnivore
Yes.
diet. They call it the lion diet.
It's loaded with vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 is essential for making your teeth really strong, keeping the calcium out of the soft tissues like your arteries. Butter has been demonized because of the cholesterol. We need cholesterol as the building blocks to make hormones, cell membranes, vitamin D, bile salts. Butter also has something called butyrate, which actually feeds your colon cells. It gives them energy. Replace your seed oils with this butter.
So, cholesterol has always been demonized. As soon as they started putting people on statin drugs, so many people started getting dementia and Alzheimer's when they got older. So your body needs the cholesterol, it needs the fat. Your brain needs cholesterol and fat more than any other thing. And your brain is controlling everything, and it takes what it wants. Your brain comes first. If it needs calcium, it'll rob it from your bone. If it needs cholesterol, it'll take it. So, in order for your body to have everything it needs, you've got to have plenty of cholesterol.
And that's above what today's doctors consider normal levels.
Yep, they keep driving that number, what they call the high acceptable range, they keep lowering that. It wasn't too long ago that 250 was probably acceptable, but now it's got to be below 200 before they're going to, accept it. Common doctors, regular doctors. So, your body cannot fight cancer. If you have below 200 cholesterol rate, your body cannot fight cancer.
In 1968, the perfect cholesterol level was 222. Today, the perfect cholesterol is 222. It has not moved. As you get down to about 120, you can pretty well be assured that 100% of that population has cancer growing someplace. It may be small, it may be large, but it is growing. But as far as being the best protector against heart disease, against stroke, against cancer, you're not going to get over cancer unless you get cholesterol levels above 200. 180 is kind of the borderline area, the break even, if you would. But if we have a patient who stays around 120, 130, 140, I know they are not going to recover very rapidly.
It's like you're fighting a losing battle. You can't fight the cancer. So anyway, just some thoughts that we've gleaned over the past year. It's been about 1 year. After a solid year of it, totally debunks the idea that it can only be a diet that is for like a month or two and then you have to go back. I know there's people that have been doing it for years, and I mean teens, 20s, maybe 30 years on the carnivore diet and doing great. It's just a matter that you have to get what your body needs, and so many people think that vegetables are higher in nutrients, but that is not the case. Vegetables have more fiber, but when you're on the carnivore diet, your body doesn't need fiber, and you're actually getting everything out of what you're eating.
Discovering what is a proper human diet, because currently mainstream medicine and mainstream nutrition, they don't have any idea. what a proper human diet is. And so it's up to all of us to work together as this ragtag renegade team to just figure it out for ourselves. And I think we're doing a pretty good job of it because of the signal I get back from just regular folks. They're like, I'm going to try this keto or carnivore. I'm just going to try that for 90 days. If it was inflammatory, if it caused heart attacks, if it caused diabetes, I'd be getting this huge signal back like, I regret that, man. That was terrible. I developed diabetes. I had a heart attack. But uniformly, 100% of the time, the signal I get back from them 90 days later is, wow, I lost weight, my A1C went down, and also this chronic inflammation that I had somewhere got better.
You don't need the fiber because you're not eating the carbohydrates. Carbohydrates is what really causes you to have fiber, and it makes you have to have a lot of vitamin C. If you're eating carbohydrates, they fight the vitamin C. If you're on the carnivore diet and you're not getting carbohydrates, the vitamin C that you do get from liver and red meat, it's available, much more bioavailable, and it does your body good. Not one carnivore has come down with scurvy. That tells you a lot right there.
About vitamin C deficiency, scurvy on a carnivore diet, but I know people who have been doing a carnivore diet for over a decade and they've not eaten a shred of plant food in that time, and they don't take supplements, and they have not developed scurvy or any other vitamin deficiency. We don't know exactly why that is yet, but we just know it is so. There is some vitamin C in liver and other vitamins that are present in fresh meat, but not quite in as high a quantity as it is in liver. That's why I really want you to find cod liver or chicken liver or beef liver, some kind of liver that you enjoy, and make that part of your carnivore diet from day one. I think that's very, very important.
They used to tell us we had to have fruits.
Yeah.
Specifically, they wanted you to have citrus fruits, ideally.
Yep.
In order to avoid it, but yeah.
The citrus is good, but if you're squeezing it and drinking it as juice, you are getting exactly the sugar that you get drinking a Coca-Cola. And your body knows no difference. Spikes that insulin, and juice can send you into the most diabetic thing you ever want to. I mean, it's awful.
Yeah. And vegetables also have oxalates in them.
Oxalates is what hurts so bad when you go on the carnivore diet and your body starts dumping oxalates. Your joints experience arthritis. Your eyes, put out all kinds of junk. I don't know what all I've heard that people have had. And they say meat's bad for your kidneys. What's bad for your kidneys is when you go off of all this vegetables and get on the carnivore diet and your body starts dumping those oxalates, which are very sharp. Well, when that's all traveling through your kidneys, of course it's going to cause some kidney problems. But that is just a byproduct trying to get rid of all the junk that's in your body. Carnivore diet is really good for your kidneys.
Oxalates are nasty. When they look at it with a microscope, they're like these sharp little needles that poke holes in your gut. Kale is loaded with them. You know what else? Especially in the keto space, almonds. Almond flour loaded with oxalates. So is spinach. When people are juicing raw kale, raw spinach, they're eating a whole bunch of raw almonds, that is the worst thing you can do for your gut.
It completely shreds your gut, and this is where I'm getting enough fiber, I'm eating greens, and then you're like, that's actually worse for your gut than just eating straight meat.
Seriously, no, eating straight meat will heal the gut. So they're going to get joint pain. They're going to get post-nasal drip by eating those foods. They're going to get inflammation by eating those foods. They're going to gain weight eating those foods, thinking that it's healthy, right? Everybody thinks kale is healthy. It's not.
It's actually suggested for people that want to go carnivore to slowly wean themselves off of sugar, carbohydrates, and then slowly wean off of vegetables and fruits before going full carnivore.
Yeah, you can hurt yourself.
Yeah.
I went full carnivore pretty much right away, but I was already eating like a maniac, very strict, but I was still gaining weight every year, feeling terrible, and getting sick a lot. So when that all changed, I mean, my body turned around in a month, so there was no way that I could deny what was happening.
The changes are just too big to ignore.
Yeah, too big to rig.
Yeah. Yeah. And to each his own. If somebody has a fundamental issue with the carnivore diet because they just don't want to like it, well, that's their party.
And also,
this is ours.
yeah, you can eat a keto diet, and it's still a good, solid ancestral diet. You can if you just said, you know, you're definitely not going to give up berries and nuts and things like that. Eat them. If your body can handle it, you know, eat them. That's fine. Just try to get ones that ain't got a bunch of chemicals sprayed on them. I've heard if you take strawberries that were raised just regular run-of-the-mill commercial strawberries and you press it and get the juice out.
Where they actually took inorganic strawberries right out of the supermarket. They pressed them and pulled the juice out of them. There was enough pesticide left over in the juice that they actually pressed out of the strawberry, inorganic strawberry, to respray the crop.
From what I've been told, if you're going to spend extra money on organic, do it on your berries. That's really where it pays off big time. Well, I ate all my stuff, so I guess I have to stop talking.
I was too busy talking and listening.
Hope you enjoyed the video. Try the Carnivore cheesecake. Whether you're carnivore or not, I think you'll like it. I think it's great. If you're not carnivore, you might want to spread it on something that it's not carnivore. It might be delicious on something that's not carnivore, but we just eat it straight up like that and it's good. But that's enough of me rambling. If you have any questions, drop down in the comments and I'll try my best to answer them best as I can. But that's all I've got for you today. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.